I'll see you in a few days when the first part's done. I'm just gonna go, like, change shirt and then come back. Okay, so I've had a bit more spare time on my hands lately, and so I decided that it'd be a good time to pick up a new hobby. Turns out I don't know how to have a hobby that's not games, so that hobby ended up being Magic the Gathering. And it's been great. It's actually been really, really fun. One of the big pulls for it, for me personally, was the Universes Beyond stuff they've been doing for the last little while. Anyway, all of this is to say that back in October, Wizards of the Coast announced a Fallout set for Magic the Gathering. If you've been here for a while, you know that I like to build a lot of custom controllers for video games. It's a good time. But I thought, why not try and build something for a not video game? Maybe that's an idea. So when they announced that set, I thought, what if I build a Pip-Boy Deckbox? That could be a good idea, you know? Like find a 3D model and make it big enough to fit a 100-card deck off the top of my wrist. That's surely not going to be horrifically uncomfortable. Luckily, I wasn't the only one who thought it was a good idea. So did Wizards of the Coast. And that's why they're sponsoring this video. Woo! Anyway, how the hell are we going to build a Pip-Boy Deckbox? First things first, I managed to find a model of a Pip-Boy 3000 on Thingiverse. Shout out to C. Pregnan for the original model. I'll post a link to it in the description so you can see the original model. Basically took that, reconstructed it for use in my 3D software because Fusion 360 doesn't seem to like models that have a lot of polys on them. And then we are gonna make some space for 100 cards. Now really, I think there's only one logical place to put them, and that's underneath where the screen of the Pip-Boy is, right? So we expand that up so it has room for all the cards. We did a little bit of extra detailing on the sides to make it fit the whole, you know, aesthetic. I'm not much of an artistic guy, so any kind of like modification to make anything look pretty, doesn't matter how little of a job it is, I always feel a little bit proud doing it. When I first did it, it looked really weird. The more I look at it, the more it kind of makes sense. What is a Pip-Boy but a CRT screen on your wrist? It's just got the actual height and width and dimensions of a whole CRT screen just like shrunken down and slapped on top of your wrist like that. Alright, I think that's about the plan so far, so we just gotta start printing it and see how we go. Alright, let's get to it. Time to do some painting. So, second coat time, and it's real windy outside. This is about the only space I have where I can like safely print and not get paint on things I care about getting paint on. I'm in my garage with lights that don't work. It'll do. We work with what we got. Alright, it's done. I'm pretty happy with the results considering the time frame and whatnot. I think it's looking alright. I was kind of hoping the paint might be a bit more green than grey, but this is fine. It still looks like a good old metallic looking lad. We're doing our own thing with it. That's what I'm going with now. Alright, so I added a few extra features from when we talked last. So first off, I put a draw slot in the side of the box, so that's where all the cards come out, so that you can draw cards right from the Pip-Boy when you're playing. It's great. The slot that I made in the 3D model was actually a little too narrow to be able to reliably pull cards out, so I took things into my own hands. Yeah, the cut lines are a bit messy, but don't worry about that too much. Alright, extra feature number 2 is this thing. I kind of like the gray. It kind of looks like a CRT TV when it's been turned off, but that's not what it normally looks like, because that's where the commander goes, you see? The commander is the 100th card. It's a special one. It needs to go in a special place. So, I made a little slot that lets it slide up in, and there it is. You might notice, hey Rude, is that Dr. Madison Lee, the face commander of one of the new Fallout precons? Yes, it is, because I got sent a copy of the deck from Wizards of the Coast 2 days before release. Wow! Like, actually though, it's pretty exciting. Thank you so much for doing that. They also sent a few collector boosters across as well. I was very happy with the pulls. I got a really nice full art Farewell, which is one of my personal favorite cards. And that probably tells you a lot about how I play Magic. Extra feature number 3, a counter, because, you know, it's Magic. There are numbers in Magic. We keep track of those. So what better thing to do that than with a counter? There's a little dial in the original model of the Pip-Boy. So I figured what better place to put a little counter so you can keep track of your life, or maybe your rads if you're using the mutant deck, or your energy counters if you're using the science deck. It's multi-purpose, and that's pretty cool. I realized after I installed the thing that I forgot to paint the life counter, but whatever, it's fine. It's grey. It matches the grey aesthetic we got going on here. It's totally okay. Time to put this to the test. I'm a little nervous about the size of the hand size space that I've got working with here. Oh, it's actually really tight. Okay, whew. I don't think that's coming off. But you know what? That's canon, because some of the Pip-Boys had biometric locks that you couldn't take off until the person that was wearing it was no longer alive. So, we'll call that a piece of lore that I accounted for in my design, and nothing you say will change my story. But it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it, eh? Look at that. I think it does feel like it has the potential to be a little bit loose, maybe. Never mind the fact that my hand is slowly changing its angle over time. Maybe it needs a bit more foam. That's okay. Next thing's next. We need to put the deck in there. So first we pop the lid off. Lovely, look at that, wowee. I kind of made a bit of a mistake with the first one. I made one of the dimensions a little too narrow. It was about 2 millimeters too short. So that was about 2.5 days worth of print time down the drain. Unfortunate. I adjusted it and did all this to it without actually checking to see if this fits. So, fingers crossed. Yo, okay, we're good. All right, look at that, beautiful. That's like 2/3 of the deck right there. Here's the rest. Boom. We pop that back on. Lovely. Oh. Okay, the extra weight is definitely, it's definitely adding to the rotational ability of the Pip-Boy. I definitely need more foam in here to like help keep it in place. I think that's gonna be the solution, but job for another time, it's fine. I guess we can play around a little bit. Let's see. How do I go drawing some cards here? There we go, not bad. Cheeky little Wayfarer's Bauble. We can draw cards pretty reliably with this, it's not bad. All right, how was my starting hand here? Hang on, let's find out. I got some good artifacts in here. That is what this deck is all about after all. Only about 2 lands though, not fantastic. We're gonna call it a risky keep, because we always know that works out well. But very good, and then we can test out the old commander slot. Boom. I play Madison Lee, and then if we want to put it back, we can do that. If we want to put cards in a random order on the bottom of our library, that's another thing we can do. Okay, don't take the lid off and then do anything else. Oops. Oh, okay. I think the proof of concept has been proven, and it's working pretty damn good. I'm happy with this. I think we call this a great success. What do you guys think? Let me know if you've got any suggestions on new little doodads you could add to the thing, or general tips on painting. I could probably do with that, I'm sure. I'd very much appreciate it. And thanks again to Wizards of the Coast for sponsoring the video. Really appreciate that too. And thank you for watching. Hopefully I'll see you again with another weird Deckbox controller. Controller? This isn't a controller. Force of habit. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.